Welcome to the Reed Report. Appreciate you guys taking this time to hear me out as we get into a video or discussion about the Carolina Panthers, more specifically Bryce Young's 2 drives against the New York Giants in this preseason, week 2 preseason football game that is currently taking place at the time of recording. And this game, honestly, has now, like, after seeing this team, I didn't get to watch them against the Jets, didn't bother to look at the highlights. They lost 27-0, struggling to score here again against the Giants. Bryce Young did, however, move the ball to get them a field goal. They didn't score a touchdown, which of course what you would always like to see, but he did get them a field goal on the I think his second drive. But this game, it's not like, from what I saw, it is now giving me calls to pause. Like usually I'm always amped up about the Panthers, like, oh, this team is gonna go to the playoffs. I say Super Bowl just because, but it doesn't mean I necessarily like 100% believe that, especially when you look at all of the teams in the NFC, and you can't definitively say that the Panthers are better than the Cowboys. They're not better than the Cowboys. They're not better than the Eagles. They're not better than the Giants. I don't know if they're better than Washington. They're not better than, the NFC South is probably going to be the weakest division in football again this year. So they're not better than the Vikings. They're not better than the Bears. They're not better than are they better than the Packers? And then they're not better than the Lions. Are they better than the Cardinals? They're not better than the Rams, are they? I haven't seen the Rams, but they're not better than the Seahawks, and they're not better than the 49ers. And then they have their own division. Now after looking at it, I say, okay, this could be a situation to where 2014 all over again. 2014 all over again, where the Panthers won the division with a losing record. They were 7-8-1. Now you got the Falcons, you got the Bucks and the Saints and the Panthers in that division. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if any of those teams won the division. Like, it's not a guarantee. We will do a predictions video with all the records, the playoff teams, the Super Bowl coming soon. But I wouldn't be surprised if whoever came out of the division, no one will be shocked that the Falcons won the division. The Panthers are probably expected, if you took a vote now, they're expected to probably finish in last place. And honestly, I'm not seeing, I don't have that same fire I had last year for the Panthers. And they are, on paper, a better team than they were last year, especially going into the season. They're a better team. Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders, who was one of my top point getters in fantasy football last year. They got Bryce Young, of course, the rookie quarterback, unproven. But they have DJ Chark. They drafted Minga, the rookie wide receiver from Ole Miss, unproven. Defense has always been solid. I forgot what they were ranked last year. Let me actually take a look at where the Panthers defense was ranked last year. But I know in 2021 they were ranked number 2 behind Buffalo. But last season, and of course the last few seasons, has just been a problem. It's just been scoring that was the problem. They just couldn't score. So let's go to team defense. Let's see, where are we? Let me check this real quick. Team defense. Yeah, so in 2021 they were ranked 2nd behind Buffalo, and then last season the Panthers defense, like I said, it's always been a staple. They dipped quite a bit. They were in the middle of the pack. Well, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. They were ranked 22nd. Hold on. They were ranked 22nd last year, so they weren't very good last year. They were actually a solid defense last year. They actually were a solid defense last year. Because they've always been, let's see, let me look at something. Because in the points department, you had the Bengals game where they gave up 42. The Falcons, they weren't abysmal. They weren't abysmal. They did have that low ranking, but they were not an abysmal defense. But but defense has never really been their problem. And I didn't like what I saw in this Giants preseason opener in this game. First drive, Giants drove the ball 75 yards with ease, scored a touchdown with Daniel Jones. And then I don't know if the starters for the Giants played the second drive, but just that first drive just really concerned me. And I'm not going just off that. It's just like, it's like that feeling, like, like, okay, this didn't feel right. This didn't feel right, and now they're having a hard time. Well, Bryce Young gets on the field. First play, he didn't see anything. He made the right decision. He ran for a yard. He played 2 drives. Second play, pressure came his way, so he threw the ball. Pressure came his way. He threw the ball ahead of the receiver. The receiver didn't end up getting it, but he overthrew him. They punted it. Then the second play, punts really, not punts, but flags really kept the Panthers alive on the drive. He did make some good decisions. Bryce Young finishing 3 for 6 for 35 yards on the second drive, which ended up in a field goal. He threw the ball. He was a little short. It was 3rd and 16. He was a little short, but it was called for roughing the passer, so they were able to get no, it was actually a holding penalty, and they were able to replay it down. Then he hit DJ Chark for 13 yards, and they ended up kicking a field goal to get on the board. That was good to see, but like I said, it's just not that same fire as the year before, as last season. It's not that same fire. It's one of those wait and see type of moments, because the Falcons got this running back who, I was doing some mock drafts, and this guy is already a lot of people. He's up there as far as like what's his name, Bijan Robinson. He's up there in terms of people's favorite to pick in the first round. He's probably like 9th or 10th or something like that. I know I picked 8th in the draft, so I'll probably have a chance to get him. I don't know who I'm going to pick with my first pick. We'll see. But yeah, that's the update for the Panthers. Not sure. Don't like what I was seeing. I don't know if Bryce Young will play in the 3rd preseason game. Who do they play? Who does Carolina play in the final preseason game? Because the Panthers do play, and they play Detroit. I don't know if Bryce Young will play in that game. He'll probably play a drive in that game. But they have Atlanta on the 10th to open the season. And that game, a division game, which will tell a lot. But again, I don't think the Panthers will have no chance to win the division. I do think only one team is coming out of this division to make it to the playoffs. What was this? And I wouldn't be shocked if any team won the division. But we'll see. We'll continue to follow the Panthers. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys taking this time to hear me out. And we'll talk soon. Peace.